It's one of them ones, man. You just in the car, man. It's like when you in the car, you just think about everything, man. Definitely when you by yourself and you just cruising on the highway, man. Yeah, this got me thinking. On that cap, swerving through traffic, listening to traffic. My windows ain't tinted.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Flex round! Ohio!
A second down throw for Brissett. A dump underneath to Jones. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio!
Out of the gun, Brissett. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit.
Flex round!
A first down throw for Brissett. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And out across midfield down to the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
The tackle is made by Micah Hyde.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Flex round! Flex round!
Second down, Brissett. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. He gets this in the hands of Mixon, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, 2 guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
Allen, and he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down.
Hey, 4th and inches. Why let your quarterback try and sneak for it? Give it to the guy who's born to fight for those tough yards. It's a fullback dive. And he just makes sure he secures the football and then plows forward to pick up the 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Allen. Dancing to his left. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards that time and a Bills 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. His first catch, good for 16 and a 1st. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now Allen. And Jones has it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's let's see what that's about. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
First trip to the red zone for the Bills. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
They'll come out in the pistol. To the air. Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. 3rd down here. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Now he's flushed out right. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
End zone, Brissett. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
And they'll run it here. Despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Brissett now on 2nd down. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Ohio!
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses, is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. Busting free at the... And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills are in for 6. Now, you don't see option pitches a whole lot in the NFL, but there worked out pretty well, resulted in a touchdown.
And it's hard for defenses because they don't see it very often, so the time in preparing each week is probably minimal. So when it comes at them, it's often a surprise. And what a nice job on the read. Pitch to the running back, and he takes it all the way in for a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Open man is Uzama. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Flex round! Flex round!
Brissett. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this 1st half. And it's a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Two minutes to play here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
He's going to air one out. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the gun, here's Brissett. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills will take over at their own 20. The Bills getting set to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Complete to the tight end, Jason Morrow. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen. Buying time to his left. Allen hit. He lost the football. He was back there forever. You got to get rid of the football there.
I mean, the amount of time he had was probably double what you normally have to throw the football, and he doesn't find anyone, so you're exactly right. He's got to get rid of it. But the next question I would have is, what were the receivers doing? In that amount of time, someone's got to find their way open.
Is a normal time 3.5 seconds to get rid of it?
Somewhere in that neighborhood, and they really doubled that. That's not supposed to happen where he still has the football, and he ends up losing it.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. A great move in there, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Brissett now under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position, now facing 3rd down. Here's Brissett. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final 12 seconds of the half now, as they've got it 1st and 10. A run by Foreman to start the drive. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now Allen off the bootleg. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A handoff to Mixon. And he's going to be taken down here, as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On second down, here's Allen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down. Allen now on first down. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Allen. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Jones. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. On play action, Allen. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bills will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Second down, Brissett looking downfield for Godwin. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third down, Brissett. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's go.
A second down throw for Brissett. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Adam Humphries, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs have made this a one-score game. Great corner out there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. But that was well executed.
Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And here come the Bills. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go play action here on 1st down. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Noah Spence in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
All right, now look at 56.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there. And now it's 3rd down. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big play for the Bills on 3rd down. 55 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Allen. Throw left side, complete to Kupp. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Allen going to throw. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills will extend their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
To throw, Brissett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bills have recovered. Back now in Tampa. It's the Bills with a lead and the football here to begin the fourth quarter. Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Ndamukong Suh busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Allen. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 18. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Now Brissett, and he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Brissett now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll pitch it out to Jones. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Now Jones, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Brissett now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. Space to run past the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Ronald Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Allen again here on 2nd and 10. Dumps it off to Mixon. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Allen off the play fake. Rolling to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Noah Spence in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. I also let you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. This is Jones. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. To throw is Brissett. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play, because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And this winds up a disaster. Nowhere near the marker. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Bills are going to get the football back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Allen now on 1st down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Now Allen throwing on second down. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pick up there, 26 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up on Levante David. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
He sets up the screen to Jones. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And it's 3rd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Back to throw. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A give to Jones. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. He'll look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going on the field, but okay, I see you. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. We've seen some big kicks in the NFL the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how about how they felt when the ball went over the post?
The Bills' offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't...
Allen hit, he lost the football, and the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because... This is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. To throw is Allen. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on fourth down. Allen going to go on fourth down. Forced out to his left. Oh, and you can forget overtime. This is going to be a safety in the final minute of the game. Oh, my. And I don't know that I've ever seen a tie game decided in the final seconds because of a safety.
It's just an absolute disaster, Brandon. You're thinking you're going to at least get yourself to overtime. But how about this defense? They said, we're going to take matters into our own hands, and this will be an unbelievable victory if it holds up.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They have the football. They're looking good, but the lead is just 2. So any mistake in a field goal can beat you. They got to be careful.
And that's where it gets difficult because you don't want that to leak into your thinking. You want to play like, hey, we've got the advantage. We can close this out. Don't play from fear, and they can win this game.
See if they can play fear-free and hang on. The give is to Jones. And some room to run now. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Buccaneers, they're into the win column for the 3rd time this year as they get the victory here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds.